I always feel like somebody in Bucharest is watching me. There's no Romanian privacy in my apartment. I always feel like somebody in Bucharest is watching me, playing Romanian tricks on me. Watcher comes to us courtesy of IFC Midnight and Shudder, is written and directed by Chloe Okuno, who did VHS 94's tape Storm Drain, which was certainly an interesting one, and is based on a screenplay by Zach Ford. I'm not exactly sure how you base something on a screenplay, but then don't give them much more than that much of a writing credit, but nevertheless, this stars Micah Monroe, who was in It Follows. She plays Julia, who goes to Bucharest with her husband, Francis, played by Carl Glusman, and he has a job there. He has this big old fancy job, and she's there basically at the house or wandering around Bucharest and just doing whatever because she's a girlfriend. She doesn't really know the language. She knows like very, very little. She's trying to learn it, but since he's always at work and doing whatever, she has nothing to do but basically spend her free time doing whatever. And one night, after they move into their apartment, she notices that a strange man seems to be watching her apartment through the window. And at first she is a little creeped out, but kind of blows it off. But then the story comes out that there is a serial killer out there that's decapitating and slashing women and just killing a bunch of women. And maybe it's this guy, maybe it's somebody else, maybe it's her husband, maybe it's a space alien from the planet Uranus, maybe it's a space alien from a far off universe. Who the hell knows? So stuff gets more and more creepy, and she has to figure out and solve this mystery to rewrite history before she meets the Decapitales. Woohoo! Okay, so, full disclosure, when it comes to It Follows, because I mentioned that earlier, I didn't really care for that. It had an interesting concept, had like one decent moment where the guy snuck up on her in the hallway. That was really about the eclipse of the goddamn scares. As far as anything else, though, I didn't really think it was all that good. But Micah Monroe, very, very lovely and a talented actress. Let's give her a chance. Let's see what she can do in a film like this. The best way I could describe this is a version of Rear Window set in Romania if it was directed by a turnip that was left out in the sun too goddamn long. Am I tipping my hand already and telling you how I felt about this? Yeah, it wasn't very good. Not very good, actually, would be kind of kind. In fact, while I don't mind slow burn horror movies or suspense movies, and they build to a pretty good climax, this just seemed like it ran out of steam early on and then just kept limping, tripping over its own goddamn feet. And while it was well shot and well acted to an extent, it was also very fucking obvious from the beginning where it was going. Like they tried to throw some curveballs in there, make the possibility it could be a husband, it could be just somebody random, who the hell really goddamn knows, but it was, again, singular focused. And unfortunately, this movie just kind of doesn't go anywhere, and then it reaches a conclusion that absolutely made me bust out laughing, which is not what you want at the end of your suspense thriller. Now, the concept of this could actually happen in real life. Somebody stalking, somebody being goddamn creep, somebody doing it in, just in broad vision, like they don't really care. They feel like they can get away with it, especially in a foreign country when people are transplanted there. The thing is, though, the movie goes about it in the most boring way possible, to the point, like, you're like, okay, very nice suspense that you built, even though it isn't, but you built enough suspense. You can stop building now. You don't need a loft apartment. You don't need an addition in the backyard. Just stop building suspense and get somewhere. This movie doesn't really go anywhere for a number of minutes. In fact, it's like almost for the first fucking hour, it doesn't really go anywhere. And then they throw one curveball, and then they throw, the curveball comes back in on itself. And it basically just turns out that anything that anybody interpreted from the very beginning about the movie turned out to actually be correct. Unless, of course, you have never been outside your house, then this movie might surprise you. It isn't very good overall, even though the actors do try, and again, it is well shot. It is available currently for like $8 on Amazon. And then there's the IFC Shudder label. Shudder at times can do some really, really good goddamn stuff, but then it also turns out that they can produce some shit, or they can, swallow up and get an exclusive deal on some stuff that's kind of goddamn shit, and this falls into the shit category. I don't mind slow building movies. I don't mind slow burn suspense thrillers, but this was just so fucking hilarious by the end, and it was just so badly done overall. It should have just been a short form movie. If this had been 40 minutes, and I know I said that about other horror movies, it would have worked out just fine. This could have been part of a VHS, anthology or another spin-off anthology, and it could have been 40 minutes and would have been pretty goddamn good. You could have done something like that, but nope. This is just stretched the motherfucking out like bad, overcooked taffy, just to the point where it's like stretching and stretching and stretching, and we're just doing this. And how far can we stretch it? How far can we keep stretching it? We can keep stretching it further and further. And that's basically what they did. And again, the aforementioned conclusion made me absolutely laugh. So yeah, I didn't really care for this, but it is available on the Amazon. Of course, IFC Midnight, Shudder, that label, all that stuff. Check that out and see what you thought of it. At least Micah Monroe is very lovely, but unfortunately, the woman that played her friend Irina is also very lovely. But the rest of the movie just limps along to a conclusion that again made me laugh. Let's get into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay, so she sees this guy watching her apartment. Her husband doesn't really believe her. He's always away on business. She's trying to learn Romanian, and he kind of blows this off when she keeps getting stalked by him. She got stalked by him in the movie theater while they were playing Charade with Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn, and then she gets stalked in the grocery store, and she has to look at security footage. She looks at the camera and she takes a picture, and she goes on the hunt. She's talking to her friend Irina, who looks like she's about 6'5". I'm not knocking. She looks very, very tall in this. The actress does, and she keeps trying to stalk him. Now the stalker has become the stalkee. And she then doesn't hear from Irina for a while. She talks to Irina's ex. Irina's ex helps her, or helps by taking her to the apartment. Slams on the door a few times. Nobody answers. Then she knocks on the door, and there's this old guy that answers. Oh, it was a misinterpretation. No, even though she had gone to the police earlier with her husband, and the police had come and interviewed her, this Weber guy comes in. Vern Gorman, by the way. You will know where you've seen him when you see him in this. Very, very good character actor. Very good creep. And he ends up saying, oh, well, no, she was stalking me, this kind of stuff. And then it's a misunderstanding, so they shake hands. And this is within the last 30 minutes that this happens. And then, she goes to Irina's apartment because she hears music being played. And she finds her decapitated corpse, as opposed to her decapitated live body. And then she gets a bag put over her head. It turns out it is Daniel Weber. It's Mr. Weber. Weber grilling her. Damn it, you bastard. And it turns out that he just was tired of being, he just was tired of being ignored, I guess, or he just was a vicious killer. Because he explained some of this stuff on the train just before, like, oh, I take care of my sick dad. I just watch people live their lives while I'm stuck there. And he cuts her throat, or cuts her on this side. So she's all this kind of stuff and whatever. And she's, she bleeds out. And then he checks on her. A little girl sees him in the apartment across the way. And then he's going to go leave. And he goes to leave, and the husband's like, hey, what the hell are you doing? Because him and Julia had just had an argument, and it looked like she was about to leave. Like she had her stuff, like her suitcase undone. She was going to leave. Open, she's going to pack her shit and go. And then Weber sees him, and that's just enough time for shots to ring out from the apartment, and Julia has a gun and shoots him. She had the strength after getting her throat cut to shoot him. Where'd she get the gun? Where in the world what? I don't know. I mean, maybe I just missed something. I mean, I don't know how she would have had the strength to do that unless she was just playing dead or playing dumb. But then again, even though the actors tried in this, everybody was pretty goddamn dumb in this because it was really goddamn bullshit and boring and just not very good. Sure, it could happen in real life, but my fucking goodness. I want stuff that can be an escape from reality. I don't mind stuff based in reality, but at least make it interesting. Don't make it like this. F. Gets an F. Watch it and see how you feel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.